Good morning, boys and girls. Today, I'll be reading the story Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. Maurice Sendak is both the author and the illustrator. He wrote the words and drew the pictures. But before we begin, we have some words to learn, some new vocabulary. Our first word is mischief. Look at the boys and girls in the pictures. One has cut something with scissors that he wasn't supposed to. Another one has played in the mud. Here, he pulled a plant out of the garden. This little boy broke a window. And this one has drawn on the walls. Oh my. Mischief means getting into trouble. Let's make a sign to help us remember. Mischief means getting into trouble. Mischief. Say it with me. Mischief means getting into trouble. Our next word is private. There's a fence in our picture, and it says, private property, keep out. Private means just for me. Can you say that with me? Private means just for me. Our third word is gnash. Look at those teeth. Gnash means to grit your teeth. Can you do that with me? Gnash means to grit your teeth. And I'm going to throw in another word. This is a very important word in the book Where the Wild Things Are. And the word is rumpus. A rumpus is a wild party. Can you say that with me? A rumpus is a wild party. So there are our four words. Mischief, private, gnash, and rumpus. Let's begin. I was looking for my book. Here it is. Where the Wild Things Are. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind, and another, his mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, "I'll eat you up." So he was sent to bed without eating anything. That very night in Max's room, a forest grew. And grew. And grew until his ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world all around. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through night and day. And in and out of weeks, and almost over a year, to where the wild things are. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. Till Max said, "Be still," and tamed them with the magic trick of staring into all their yellow eyes without blinking once, and they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all, and made him king of all wild things. "And now," cried Max, "let the wild rumpus start." "Now stop," Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Then all around from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said, "No." The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. And sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks and through a day. And into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. And it was still hot. The end. So Max was getting into mischief, wasn't he? He sure was. And then he got sent to his room without what? Without any supper. And what happened to his room? It turned into a forest, didn't it? And when it turned into a forest, he sailed in his ship to where what? Where the wild things are. And he said, "Now, let the what?" Uh-oh, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Max said to the wild things, "Let the wild rumpus start." And then Max said, "Stop." And he became lonely, didn't he? So he got back into his private boat and what? Sailed back to his room. And what was waiting for him? His supper. I hope you enjoyed that book. Can you hear that noise? That's a pressure washer. Someone is pressure washing in my backyard. I hope you're enjoying your break, and I hope you enjoyed that story. Let's remember our words. Mischief. Getting into trouble. Private means what? Private means just for me. Gnash means to grit your teeth. and Rumpus. Rumpus is a wild party. I hope you enjoyed our book, and I'll see you again soon. I love you. Mwah.